Bam, welcome to Mad Dog's After Show. You're on lap 116 with the Mad Dog and Cole, the acronym assassin, Farrell.
The world's best racers are the world's best complainers.
I decided to fly through the air and live in the sunlight and enjoy life as much as I could, and that's just what I'm doing.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Man, oh man, I cannot believe we're starting episode 116. We had a ripper there with Jim Beaver on 115. That was a goodie. Here we go, starting another one with those great inspiring words from the incredible Mr. Evil Knievel, flying through the air, living in the sunlight, and enjoying life.
Man, I was just watching a Robbie Knievel video this morning of that famous Grand Canyon jump and how hard he slammed at the end. And you know who was there right at the hay bales? Our first responders. So we cannot go any farther on this podcast without thanking our first responders and, of course, the brave men and women of our armed forces. Especially we got 4th of July weekend coming up. None of this would have been possible if we didn't have those brave men and women over 200 years ago fighting for what we got.
Yep, absolutely. And, of course, special shout out to our veterans and the families of those that gave all, MIA and KIA. Thank you so much. And, dude, with that, we're going to jump right into this. What do you got? Because I know you're very short on time. You have to go do real stuff. So,
oh, it's all in the eye of the beholder. But, man, I would just like to say there's a lot of great motorsports events going on out here in Southern California. Look them up and participate. Go spectate, go support your local tracks. Summertime can be a little tough for our local businesses. So make sure to get out to Paris Speedway, Costa Mesa Speedway, Glen Helen, all of our favorite people on earth, and just you keep the money in the community.
Yeah, well said. Well said. That is awesome. Yeah, man. Speaking of racing, I'm going to jump right in at that to the Lima Half Mile. And it's a legendary Lima Half Mile. It's at the Allen County Fairgrounds, Lima, Ohio. I was out there with Team Kicker for American Flat Track. And, I had a real early flight last week and got to the airport in Vegas. I don't know what's wrong with you, but why is your pre-check closed and half your doors closed at 3:00 in the morning? People want to get out of Vegas. Let them get out. That being said, I wasn't going to jump into all this right off the bat, but I'm going to because, folks, if you're flying, even if you're new at flying, please learn some flying etiquette. It has just been the degradation over the last 3 or 4 years, and it ticks me off. You get people, whether it's boarding, whatever airline it is, whether they board by numbers or groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's pretty difficult to figure out for most people. So is A, B, C, D, E, F, apparently, because as soon as they start pre-boarding, which happens before anybody else gets on the airplane, folks, usually, with kids, families, and handicap, you have people from Group D lining up in these little skinny, I was flying Southwest, and they're always really tight. They board by group A, B, C, D, E, and numbers 1 through 30 on one side of their pylon and 31 through 60 on the other side. And there's people from Group D squeezing in line in the A group and then holding up the line as the rest of us need to check in and getting sent back to the back of the line. Just take your turn, people. It's not that tough. You should have learned it in elementary school. Holy cow. I cannot believe how rude and idiotic some of you people are. You need to get over yourselves And, if you want to get on the plane earlier, fly more. That's what I do. I get on earlier. That's the way it works. With that, um, I wasn't even going to go here about Denver because everybody knows Denver sucks. Denver Airport really sucks. I had a layover at Denver Airport, and to the point I was talking about boarding, um, the flight that was boarding to get loaded and get out of the gate I was flying out of after that flight took so long to board because people couldn't get it right that it actually delayed my flight by the flight before, just because people are stupid. So, could you please just pay attention to how many fingers are on your hand? Well, if you got to count to 15, start with a new hand. We all know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We all know A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Get it straight, people. Good Lord. With that, rant over. I'm going to go back to the Lima American Flat Track half mile. Man, I got in there. That track is crazy. It's what they call pea gravel, and they have to prep it after every race. Literally, they go out and do 2 laps with the water truck and about 3 laps with these rakes to bring the surface all back down because it builds up a cushion in every race. The more they race, the more the pea gravel moves up. And there were some guys having some great success up there on the cushion. Um, and some guys shooting through the middle and just fighting it like crazy. And there was some great racing. I didn't get to see much of it, but American Flat Track run their first ever triple challenge there at Lima. The first night, it was a doubleheader. What they did is they ran a 10-lap main event, a 15-lap main event, and a 20-lap main event. And how it worked was you got regular finish points for the first main, you got double finish points for the second main, and triple finish points for the third main. All those points are compiled for a grand total in the event of a tie. The overall goes to whoever had the best finish in the third race. But what they ended up doing, how you end up lined out 1 through 10, then you're awarded actual season points based on where you finished up. So there was some really good racing. Saw the Yamaha back on top on the overall, and Briar Bauman, my buddy Briar, did a great job, but did come up second overall, running that brand new Rick Ware Racing Harley program with, of course, George Lattis Harley Davidson out of Oregon, backing them. They really got it figured out. That bike is fast. No matter where they've gone this year, it's been fast. So that was pretty exciting. The next night, they had their regular format. It was, again, great racing. I was blessed to have a couple of great kicker people in working the booth with me when I worked the booth there during the event. And there was literally hundreds and hundreds of motorcycles that showed up. And I talked to people from all over the place, all the way up, way up upstate New York, up by the Canadian border, all the way down to like out by Knoxville and even further south. So it was pretty incredible. Great turnout. It was a good time. Of course, it was absolutely fantastic to see my AFT family. I haven't seen them for a bit since we got rained out in Wheatland. So it was really good to see them, and I was really grateful to get a couple of race nights in. I was kind of missing it, you know. So the yeah, it was Lima, Ohio is kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but to that effect, I want to say an incredible thanks to Cameron over at AFT. He hooked my good friend Greg up and his son Zach and his girlfriend that drove about 2.5 hours roughly to come down and just hang out with me for the day and watch some racing. It was their first American flat track on Friday, and they had a unbelievably good time. And I'm so thankful they did. And I haven't seen Greg in a long time. It was absolutely great to see him. I'm also very thankful for the guys that came and helped me out with the booth. The local dealer there, Barry Electronics, Wade, shout out Wade, came in and worked both days. Uh, and Phil, the local kicker sales guy, was in there and brought a kicker demo truck. It's pretty cool, 6 15-inch subwoofers in the back of the crew cab, and then a full tailgate system in the back, um, with woofers and the wakeboard tower horns, kicker marine horns, and sounded great. You could hear it all the way across the racetrack when we were whooping on it, which was pretty exciting. Um, and other than that, it was a Jared Mees production, and you know, um, he had an amateur day on Thursday, and then the doubleheader Friday, Saturday. He was a promoter, and everything seemed to go off without a hitch, which was pretty cool. I got to spend a little time with my good friend, the good chaplain Raymond Rizzo. Check out our Christmas episode if you want to get introduced to Raymond Rizzo. Super nice guy. And I had the incredible opportunity to meet a very, very cool guy, Mr. Tom Duma from Tom Duma Fine Jewelers. He builds all the American flat track championship jewelry, if you will. He does a bunch of custom jewelry stuff for Scotty Dubler over at Off the Groove TV. And, it was super nice to meet him. What a great guy. And there was a young man from Australia that was on his basically pro debut Friday night in the singles class and had a crash and got banged up, and they had to ambulance him out. Um, and he will be fine. He's got a couple of cracked ribs and beat up, bruised up as you'd expect. But Tom was talking about how he could help out with the expenses of the young man getting home and stuff like that. And man, what a blessing to the sport. So shout out Tom Duma Fine Jewelers. Check him out. Because he's a really cool guy. Beyond that, it was a great weekend. I was a little concerned. We had a monster storm Thursday evening, lasted about 2.5 hours, where it just poured. And man, I was like, oh boy, not again. But but that pea gravel just soaks the water up, and by Friday during practice, they were having to put more water on the track even. So it was a really good weekend. Had a good time. You know, um, it's great seeing Scotty Dubler and, of course, all the AFT guys and crew, and, hanging out with everybody there. And then, Sunday it was head back home. So load up the old rental, and which I'm not going to talk about because I'll just get a bunch of negative comments about it. So So, is what it is. Um, but yeah, eh, I didn't have a choice, folks. When you see the pictures on Instagram or Facebook, just understand I didn't have a choice. Sometimes you just got to go with it. But yeah, got back and unfortunately, I had made a error in my calculation for my flight time, or I had actually figured it was earlier than it was. So I ended up wasting a little bit of time at the Columbus airport, which is very nice, by the way. So no option there. Got there and realized, oh, yeah, I have an extra hour and a half to go, you dummy. So anyway, it was really cool. We had a great time over the weekend. I stayed at a brand new home too, and uh, the crew there was just super nice, super friendly, and all the fans um, at the race, everybody I dealt with in Ohio, super nice, super friendly. Had a great time. I was so blessed to be able to, you know, just go out and do that kind of stuff, and made the flight home, and was blessed again to have a direct flight home, which got me in a little earlier, and made the drive through the desert. Got home before it was dark for a change, so that was kind of nice. And to that, um, home for a couple days here. Of course, doing all the honeydews and all that, and working on some guest line out for next week, and fighting allergies, of course. The allergies were different in Ohio than they are out here in the desert. So, you go through that quick, quick flip, I guess, on your allergies. So, never seems like no rest for the wicked as far as that goes. A couple days from now, I'll be heading out to DuQuoin, Illinois for the DuQuoin Mile. Should be a great race. The track is, again, a very old facility. They've been racing flat track there forever. And, our good friend Scotty Dubler's down there. They're having a whole flat track, AMA, flat track, amateurs week, the Nationals, all week down there on their short track. And Scotty Dubler's down there all week. He left, I think he left Lima right after the show and went directly to the coin. And he's, man, I'll tell you, that dude is on fire. I think he's 5 days in a row of column races and still has probably 5 days to go. So pretty cool. But yeah, the Ohio, thanks for being friendly. I appreciate you. I had a good time while I was out there. I did not. I know there's probably some of you listening going, oh, well, you were there. Did you get a Kewpie burger? And I did not. Um, but maybe next time I'm out. So I'll be off to DuQuoin over the 4th of July. And, this will come out after the 4th. So I hope y'all had a safe and happy 4th of July. Hope you still have all your fingers and toes. And, I want to definitely say a thank you to all of our service people and all our first responders. The 4th of July is a big deal, and I know they wouldn't be there without our service people, and of course the first responders are so busy on the 4th. Thank you all. I am hoping to catch up with our with a avid fan of ours after I get back next week, and I'll let you know about that. But we will have another guest next week. Stay tuned. It's going to be a good one for sure. And man, this is going to be a shorty, but I just wanted to get you all filled in and catch up on the excitement from Lima. We just had such a good time, and you know, I had to have a tizzy about the people that don't know how to fly or don't have any courtesy, and I just had to get that out. So thanks for bearing with it. And if you're flying and you're new, pay attention to please common courtesy and common sense. And if you're not new at flying and you're still acting like a butthead, get a grip before somebody gets a grip on you. So I know we got some other stuff coming up, and I don't want to lead into who our next episode guest will be, because we got a couple we're working with for next week that we're finalizing. So it should be pretty exciting. I did want to give a shout out to the Veteran MX Foundation. They have a really big race coming up, and in September, and September 15th through 21st. It is the 5th annual AMA Veteran MX Championship at Bar to Bar MX in Mays, Kansas. So with that, we're going to try and get those guys on here before the end of July, and hopefully get a little more info about them and their cause. And man, other than that, I want to thank you all for being loyal listeners, and thanks to all our new subscribers on YouTube. YouTube podcasts is really exploding. You can find us at MAddOG'S After Show on YouTube. And it has just been really going crazy. Thanks for all of you who are still listening to us and downloading us on Spotify. And of course, the iTunes and all your favorite streaming services. You can find us there. And, with that, man, I want to say a special thank you to our partners and sponsors, Kicker Performance Audio. You can find them online, kicker.com, on Instagram at Kicker Audio, on Facebook, Kicker, and every other Tuesday night live at 7:30 Central on their TV show, Kicker Unmasked Live, on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Of course, Bomber Eyewear, Bomber Safety Eyewear, Bomber Floating Eyewear, Bomber Badass Eyewear. Check them out, bombereyewear.com, or on Instagram at Bomber Eyewear. Remember, when you're on the website, they have over 40 styles of frames, from fathead size to pinhead size, and all different styles. Man, and I couldn't even begin to tell you how many lens combinations, but they got a bunch. Man, you can do what I'm doing in the Mana Boogie Bomb with the Ice Mirror Blue, and they are also polarized and ANSI 87 OSHA-approved safety lens. Check them out, bombereyewear.com. When you get your cart loaded, hit that code and put in MAddOG. That's MAddOG20, MAddOG20. Let them know we sent you. Save yourself a little money. Of course, Assault Off-Road, Assault Industries, Assault UTV, for all your premium off-road accessory needs, whether side-by-side, quad, or whatever you need. Look them up. Find them online, assaultind.com, or on Instagram at AssaultUTV. Of course, Cole, if you need to get him booked to announce your event or to MC something for you, slide into our DMs over at Instagram at AFTR_podcast. Send us a message and we'll get you hooked up. Of course, Shutter and World Media, Shutter and World Photography for all your photography and video needs. Look her up on Instagram at Shutter and World. From pre-production to post-production, you need a TV commercial done, she can handle it front to back. You need just some portrait shots of your favorite pet, she can handle it. Look her up at Shutter and World. Her website is in the bio on Instagram. That's at Shutter and World. Of course, Hey Keeks Marketing and everything she does for us, from logos to social media stuff, website, she can do for you. She's got you covered for everything you need, whether you need a full website built, a website fixed, a website maintained, social media campaigns, social media accounts built. Hit her up, yell, Hey Keeks, or find her online, heykeeks.com, or on Instagram at Hey Keeks Marketing. Cole?
Make sure to rate, review, subscribe to your favorite streaming platform.
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Awesome. You got anything else?
Oh, man. Just so grateful for this weekend we have coming up. Little 3-day weekend action for us, office working stiffs, and just grateful for our freedoms and grateful for the show and all of our partners. And man, oh man, let's make it memorable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. With that, I want to say, God bless our veterans. God bless our troops. God bless our first responders. God bless you, our fans. God bless America. Mad Dog out.
You know what I mean? And I tell anybody in this industry, if you're in this industry and you're not having a good time, I mean, you're in the wrong damn industry. I mean, if you don't think off-road and dirt bikes and drifting and motorcycle racing and if you're not having a good time in this industry, I don't know what to tell you, because you are just not a fun person.
I like it.
I love it.